A sense of calling increases employee engagement. What is a job? According to the Business Dictionary, when performed by an employee in exchange for pay, a job consists of duties, responsibilities, and tasks, that is, performance elements, that are, number one, defined and specific, number two, can be accomplished, quantified, measured, and rated. But can you really quantify and measure the immeasurable impact that a teacher or educator has on the future through a single student? Can you quantify the value of a police officer who puts his or her life on the line, who took a bullet to save you? Is it possible to rate the value of the service of the garbage collector who keeps our neighborhoods clean so that we can enjoy good health and prevent the spread of disease? And is it really possible to define and be specific about the important role that our taxi drivers play in our economy and lives? Is it possible to really place a value on what you do at work for yourself, your family, your organization? I don't think so. It's not just a job, it's a calling. According to Merriam-Webster, a job is a small miscellaneous piece of work, a regular remunerative position, an undertaking requiring unusual exertion, something done for private advantage. By this very definition of what is a job, being a police officer, teacher, taxi driver, or garbage collector is clearly not just a job. By no means is teaching, policing, cleaning the environment, and driving a taxi a miscellaneous piece of work. And certainly, teachers are not being remunerated based on the importance of their position. I don't believe that the work we do is done just for private advantage. The people who really benefit is society, families, parents, learners, and the environment. However, it is very true that a job is an undertaking requiring unusual exertion. But because a job and a calling have one common thread, an undertaking requiring unusual exertion does not make them the same in essence. In the introduction to this course, you were introduced to the study that said over 87% of the world's workers are disengaged with their jobs. This means that they either hate their work or are merely indifferent to it, punching a clock to earn a paycheck before they go home to do what they really want. I don't know about you, but this seems to be a problem. Is work just a means of making a living? Or can it also be a means to a meaningful life, contributing to a greater good? At the end of World War II, when many men and women were returning to the factories and many women were returning to their homes, Dorothy Sayers wrote a prophetic essay entitled, "Why Work?" In the essay, she explained that work was not just a means to an end, but the work in itself was the end. The worker, as she reasoned, ought to serve the work. She was afraid of people losing the purpose they found during the war when aligning their lives around a central purpose, and wanted to warn the people of the dangers of seeing work as an optional luxury as opposed to a human necessity. We are facing the same crisis today. There are so many messages on blogs and in the self-help section of your bookstore, all advocating the same mantra: work is something that we should escape from. I disagree. The definition and understanding of work must be challenged and changed. According to the credible Gallup poll, which is a worldwide study, worldwide employees engaged in work study, only 13% of employees worldwide are engaged at work. According to Gallup's new 142 country study on the state of the global workplace, in other words, about 1 in 8 workers, roughly 180 million employees in the country studied, are psychologically committed to their jobs and likely to be making positive contributions to their organizations. Here are the results for some countries. You can visit their website and view the status of your own country or other countries that are not mentioned in this lesson because of time. In America, engaged 30%, not engaged 52%, actively disengaged 18%. In Australia, engaged 24%, not engaged 60%, actively disengaged 16%. In India, engaged 9%, not engaged 60%. Hong Kong, 4% engaged, 68% not engaged, and 29% actively disengaged. Malaysia, 11%, 81%, and 8% disengaged. In Philippines, 29% only engaged, 63% not engaged, and 8% actively disengaged. In the United Kingdom, 26% are actively disengaged. The bulk of employees worldwide, 63%, are not engaged, meaning they lack motivation and are less likely to invest discretionary effort in organizational goals or outcomes. And 24% are actively disengaged, indicating they are unhappy and unproductive at work and liable to spread negativity to co-workers. In rough numbers, this translates into 900 million not engaged, 340 million actively disengaged workers around the world. The current research is not very much different, I am sure. Overall, Gallup found that only 13% of workers feel engaged by their jobs. These people feel a sense of passion for their work and they spend their days helping to move their organizations forward. The vast majority of some 63% are not engaged. We are checked out, sleepwalking through the days, putting little energy into our work, and the rest of us are actively disengaged, actually hating our jobs or working against our employers. In other words, work is more often a source of frustration than one of fulfillment for nearly 90% of the world's workers. Just think of the social, emotional, and perhaps even economic waste that this statistic represents. 90% of adults spend half their waking lives doing things they would rather not be doing at places they would rather not be. I am a South African, so let me speak about us for a moment. According to Gallup, in South Africa, 9% are engaged, 46% are not engaged, and 45% are actively disengaged. Some might react and say that it is preposterous and ludicrous, and others might just use it and ask the hard questions such as, why are the majority of people not fully engaged in their work? Did you know that people who hate their jobs are more likely to smoke? Not enjoying work is a health hazard. I believe that one of the main reasons why 91% of employees are disengaged is because they have been deprived of realistically viewing their work as a calling instead of just a job. Can you imagine what a transformed society ours would be if there was 100% engagement among police officers, taxi drivers, garbage collectors, and teachers, just to mention a few, besides every other profession? Even a mere 10 to 20% increase in engagement would transform our lives, economic growth, and self-fulfillment. Besides, everyone living fulfilled lives, our beloved country will be safer. Children would love to go to school. Teachers would be enthusiastic. Taxi drivers would be more courteous. And commuters would be more appreciative. And our environment would be fresher, cleaner, and more beautiful. I believe it is possible. And collapsing the hierarchy of professions while elevating all professions to their rightful position as a calling is just one step, but a critical and very significant first step. Did you know that organizations with low employee engagement scores saw 18% lower productivity, 16% lower profitability, 37% lower job growth, and 65% lower share price over time? I had the rare privilege of conducting many interviews with individuals from different occupations. Those who are most engaged in their jobs are those who redefine their work. Those who elevate their jobs to its rightful place in the context of a calling, are more conscious of their health, happier at home, productive at work, go beyond the call of duty, and is admired by those whom they serve. Our actions are inevitably aligned with our beliefs. I believe that you have a calling, not just a job. And because I sincerely do, this course was designed for you. You may be an educator, a police officer, a public servant, a taxi driver, a factory line worker, a business person, or any work that you currently do, as you will see in this course, is a calling, not just a job. Our beliefs are the roots and our actions are the fruits. As an example, I know that deep down you'd prefer a calling instead of just a job. This course will change your perspective completely. Bring that conviction to the surface and let it be the center and circumference of what you do, wherever you are and in whatever you do. It is this conviction that will break barriers and create meaningful connections with those above, below, and next to you. You can change the future. It starts with changing what you think about yourself, your calling, your work, and those you serve. What happens next is up to you.